Late in the afternoon, on a hill called Morro do Vintem, a boy chasing his kite stumbled onto something that didn't belong to daylight. Two men, side by side, dressed in neat suits and raincoats, lay still among the brush. Their faces were covered by lead masks, opaque homemade visors set where eyes should meet the sky. By the time police climbed the slope, weather had turned and light was thinning. No signs of a struggle, no torn ground. Only items placed as if on purpose. A bottle of mineral water, 2 wet towels, a notebook. On one page, a message, brief, unnerving. Be at the place at 16:30. At 18:30, ingest capsules. After the effect, protect metals. Await signal. Mask. No capsules, 1. No were found. Tertiary, just the masks. And the silence. The men were identified as electronics technicians. Family men. Colleagues. The watches and rings had been removed and tucked away, as if obeying the line about protecting metals. Then the night took them. The autopsy offered almost nothing. Rain and days in the open had blurred the evidence. The coroner could not fix a cause. Hearts stopped. Why? No one could say. Investigators traced their steps. A bus ride, receipts for raincoats and water, a bar where a waiter remembered a man checking his watch again and again. A schedule was in motion. The hill, a rendezvous no one else understood. In their workshop, scraps of sheet lead, the right kind, to cut those eye shields. Books marked where pages spoke of intense light, staring notes of parts and circuits, ordinary in one world, ominous in another. Friends said the men were scientific spiritualists, tinkerers who believed the invisible could be tuned like a radio. Rumors told of earlier experiments that flashed and boomed, of lights over the sea, of a group who waited for a signal that sometimes came. The note with the instructions. Handwriting tests suggested it wasn't written by either man. A third hand, then. Someone who knew the timetable, the capsules, the masks. Explanations multiplied. An overdose during a ritual. A toxic capsule sold as a shortcut to revelation. A scam that turned lethal. Others whispered UFO, signal, blinding light, and said the masks were simply practical if you expected to see the sun at midnight. The question underneath every question: did someone meet them on that hill? The ground says no. The notebook says maybe. The masks say they expected to see something they couldn't bear to see unshielded. Perhaps the simplest answer is the truest. Two men chasing contact through chemistry and faith, undone by a dose they didn't understand. A tragedy of hope mismeasured. Or perhaps a third person wrote the script, set the hour, supplied the capsules, and watched the curtain fall. No fingerprints of intent, only the stage directions left behind. And then there is the version that never quite dies. A signal did arrive. Not for you, not for me, for two men who wore lead to meet the light. Maybe it was all just an experiment. Two curious minds trying to speak to something beyond words. But if it wasn't, if it was something else, something that stepped close and did not care whether anyone could explain it, then the hill is only quiet because it remembers better than we do.